Hello there. My name's Carrie.
And my name's Rick, and this is our first episode of Muzzle Flash.
We're going to be discussing some gun safety rules today. All different things about guns.
Yeah. So we're... Yeah, I mean, let's just get into it, right?
This is our first episode, and we're excited to just kind of get our feet wet and just understand a lot of different things about a great situation that is uncomfortable to many. So we're kind of excited to bring it to your attention and learn a little bit about each other as well. So let's get started.
Yeah, and you talk about it being uncomfortable. I can tell you, my wife is she's not exactly anti-gun, but she is definitely uncomfortable around firearms.
Oh wow.
So you know, we've got firearms in the house. But and I've tried several times to get her to go shooting with me to learn how to shoot, and she says, "Well, honey, that's what I have you for." I'm like, okay, so, but yeah, a little bit about me, I guess.
Absolutely.
I'm my dad taught me how to shoot when I was a kid. I grew up shooting shotguns, 30-30s, 22 rifles. And then the first handgun that I ever shot was like a 38 Chief Special revolver. And I learned how to shoot that pretty well. Went into the Army, learned how to shoot M16s, grenade launchers, 50 cal machine guns.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, it was lots of fun.
Absolutely.
And then after I got out of the Army, I really didn't do a whole lot until, probably about 5 years ago. I finally convinced my wife to let me get a pistol and bring it in the house. And then I got a concealed carry permit from there, joined our church's armed safety team, and then after that,
wow,
yeah, I started.
Interesting.
Yeah, I started. I kind of moved into a training position with them, and now I'm actually running the safety team, the armed safety team. So. Yeah.
Well, we have a lot to learn from you, my friend. I feel very fortunate myself to be with such an educated man about the gun.
Yeah, that's I know a little bit. There's guys out there that know a lot more than me. I'm just, I think what I would like to do is kind of present this subject from a from a layperson standpoint, because I'm not law enforcement. I wasn't special forces. I've just the average guy out there that wants to keep me and my family safe.
Right. Does your wife feel better now that you have the firearm in the house? Is she coming around? Does she feel more comfortable?
No, she's still, I mean, even last week I tried to get her to go to the range with me. She's like, no, not really.
Yeah.
So, but it's okay.
I think that's really one of the problems we have here with in America right now, is people are just afraid of guns, and they're not something to be afraid about. I basically was raised my whole entire life around guns. My grandparents had a farm. We were raised right next door to, my grandparents, and we weren't never let loose without having proper gun safety rules. Exactly. And knowing how to, take care of ourselves with the guns and properly, know how to handle them and in a worst case scenario. So I was very fortunate. It's been a long time since I've been, since I've had, a lot of experience as far as like shooting at the gun range or anything like that, because lots has changed. A lot of rules have changed, and guns have changed, just different safeties and things like that. So I don't know particularly, all the ins and outs. So that's what's so wonderful about having this conversation with you, because sure. I think it's very important that knowledge is power. The more you know, the more you actually feel comfortable around something that's not a bad thing.
Right.
I think I feel more comfortable knowing that someone has a gun than I would knowing that someone did not.
Oh, yeah.
Personally, that's
like
me personally.
when I started doing conceal carry, and you can, if you see me out in public anywhere and I'm not at one of my jobs, I'm not allowed to conceal carry on either one of my jobs. But if you ever see me out and about, chances are pretty good I'm armed. And I conceal carry very well. I mean, unless you know precisely what you're looking for, you're not going to find the firearm on me. I mean, I don't, my whole reasoning is not to just be out there carrying a gun because I can. I want to carry a gun in case we get into one of those poop hits the fan moments, and I can lend a hand. I'm not a superhero. I'm not. I don't look at myself like that. But I do look at myself as, because of the amount that I practice and the type of practice that I do. Wherever I am is generally a safer environment. Because, that's, and there are some people that are not going to agree with that 100%, and that's okay. That is okay. That's their right to disagree with that. But I'm not going, again, I don't display my firearm.
No.
I've never, I'm not an open carry person, and you can watch the videos on YouTube and see these guys out there that are challenging the law. They're going right up to the very brink of breaking the law by slinging an AR-15 over their shoulder, because they can. Just because they can, they're doing it. Let's, it doesn't...
It's a scary world we live in.
It is.
It's very important that we have people like you.
It is.
And you kind of are a superhero.
Nah, not in the slightest.
To some of us out there, that's
not in the slightest. I practice. I practice more than some law enforcement. I mean, I get out multiple times per month to the range. I don't just put the target out at a set distance and do slow, controlled shots. I will do rapid fire shots. I will I will go from a point where I can't see the target, lowering my eyes down and then raising up and engaging the target quickly with multiple shots, and then returning back to a rest position to simulate shooting from, in a combat situation. And then there's other things that I do in my training as well. And it's just, being on my church's safety team like I am, if I ever have to use my firearm, my family's around here. My kids are around here. I've got friends and their kids around here.
Did you hear that, guys? Yes. The churches. Churches need people like this nowadays, and that's a very sad thing, but it's a very realistic thing. And we really need to be very appreciative for people who want to take initiative to acknowledge that we have a problem here in America. Knowledge is power.
We've had our team for about 6 or 7 years now, and in that time, we have had exactly 0 violent incidents that we've had to respond to. But as a result of our safety team being out and about where we are, we're always walking around the property, out in the parking lot, checking between the cars. We're everywhere in the building. We have actually intervened and helped in 4 medical emergencies.
Oh, wow.
So because of where, we're not a security team, we're a safety team. Our job is not to, you come into the church, I'm not going to kick you out. That's really not my job.
Right.
My job is to make sure that the people that are here are safe. And that includes responding to medical emergencies as well. And that's the main thing that we've done.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It's greatly appreciated.
Yeah. So what do you want to know? What would you like to know?
Well, basically, let's talk about Oh my goodness, there's so many things we can cover. My goodness. Well, keep it to, how about conceal and carry?
Okay.
Let's start with that one.
Okay.
What types of guns do you prefer to carry and why?
Okay. I carry a semi-automatic.
Okay.
When I
Sounds scary.
Yeah, it's really not.
To someone who does not know, sounds pretty scary.
Semi-automatic just means that when you pull the trigger one time, you get one bullet. And the gun cycles, does its thing. You let go of the trigger, pull the trigger back, you get a second bullet. So every time you do this, you're getting a bullet. So another type of handgun is a revolver. You've seen those. Those you know, they are like the old wheel guns, like you see in westerns or old cop shows and stuff. They're perfectly suitable for defense. I prefer to carry a 9mm because that's what I've practiced with. That's what I know. That I like. You know, the lower recoil, it's easier to control. I get more ammunition out of it generally than a semi-automatic or than a revolver.
Okay.
So, brand I carry is Sig Sauer. I am not sponsored by them or anything like that. I just like I like the way they feel in my hand. Other great brands that you could carry would be Glock, Smith & Wesson, Springfield, FN. I mean, there's a lot of good firearm brands out there.
And that Glock gets such a bad name.
No, actually, Glock's got a really great name.
Does it?
Yeah, it does. And law enforcement has used Glock for a long time. I don't personally care for Glock, and the reason being I've got smaller hands, you know, and so a Glock is a double stack magazine. Okay, so when you're talking about a double stack or single stack magazine, it depends on how the bullets fit in there. Okay, so I'm gonna get a magazine real quick. Hold on just a second. Okay. So this is the magazine for my firearm, which you can see there is no rounds.
No rounds at all.
No rounds. We're empty. I'm going to leave that out on the table. This is an empty magazine here. You can see no rounds. So basically with the double stack magazine, when you're loading the rounds in, the bullets, they end up sitting almost side by side.
Okay, I've seen that.
So that's a double stack because you have two stacks of bullets going up in the magazine. Another common type of firearm is going to be a single stack magazine, this is double.
Oh, that's
so
double?
In a single stack magazine, the bullets are sitting in there on top of each other like this. So this is a double stack, so it's going to fit 2 rows of bullets.
I see now.
Yep.
When you get down here.
Yep, exactly.
Just the way it stacks in there.
So the Glock is a double stack magazine, and it's just feels a lot chunkier in my hand, not as comfortable. With the way that the SIG firearm is set up, I can get a very full, very comfortable grip around the firearm, and I get a lot of control out of it. I just like it. You know, it just fits. It's really comfortable for me.
Well, I'm glad we're having this conversation because it's been a long time since I've been around the different types of guns other than just like a little pistol or something like that. So, if there's anything else that you'd like to add before we close our segment, you know, we'd love to, you know, share more with you in the future. We just kind of.
This is our first episode, and we're kind of figuring out what's going on. So
we really thought this would be nice to have, just to, you know, to share with everybody. So we hope you enjoy, you know, what little segments we have to offer this time. Like I said, we're playing around trying to figure it out, and we're hoping you enjoy what we have to offer. So
all right, so click I guess since we're on YouTube, you can click like and subscribe, And this has been the first episode of Muzzle Flash. See you later.
Thank you for listening.